So it seems that CG is banning that, and they're also banning Kilgroth.
So no less for this game 3, everyone watching. So
ban.
CG will be playing on the blue side. As for BRENT Esports, will be playing on the red side. So I think when it comes to, I know we all know that the Malak has been nerfed, yes, but I still believe that this hero is a tool that anybody can use.
Yeah, definitely very
team's
powerful,
turn to
great
pick.
ultimate, great sustainability, great defense. I mean, there's no reason. CG, you see here that CG actually banned Seniel in the last game because they didn't want BRENT getting it. But now that now that CG is first pick, they're able to pick Seniel immediately, and it's very, very, very good to see Seniel in the game. Always provides great map coverage and map defense.
Also the great response, thinking
Blue team's turn to pick.
have to be careful when the level 4 does happen, because when you think you're going for a fight because you have the numbers advantage,
Red team's
Yeah, you're
turn
absolutely
to
wrong.
pick.
Besides, Seniel can just continuously split push and not care whether or not his team is in a team fight or not, because he's always just going to be there.
that's a nice way to say it. I mean, that's one of the powerful tools that Sentinel has, and you can utilize in
Blue
because
team's turn
we're now in
to
the third
pick.
game, everyone. So both CG and BRENT Esports have 1 point. This game 3 will decide who gets the majority of the points in our match.
It's gonna be a very interesting fight, and oh my goodness, there's Lumber. Lumber has Toro's got a thing.
Oh, Mark, so you're hovering around.
I think they're hovering. Yeah, okay, there we go. Thane, there we go. That's more of expected. It seems that BRENT is going for a very different strategy this time. Notice how they don't have a lot of high impact ultimates right now. If they pick this Crash, then never mind, because they will have 2 quite powerful ultimates that control the entire enemy team and then allow Kuroki's L'Oreal to come in there and absolutely destroy the enemy team. On the other hand, we have, it seems that CG is going to take a little bit away from BRENT by picking that Kratos, so that they now have this sieging range advantage. Notice also that both these teams do not have what? What do they not have? Indeed. You don't need the marksman in AoV, everyone. Just remember that.
Okay, I mean, that can go both ways, Marco. That could be a great advice to our challengers out there who are watching right now and want to learn something. Isn't a good thing, though.
I mean, look, here's the thing. It really depends on your team's composition. You know, sometimes you might need a marksman, sometimes you might not need a marksman. It depends on what your win condition is. Just remember, you have to be flexible and adapt and adjust to your team's needs. Your team does not need 3 marksmen. Just saying.
Okay, so the way you said it was, you don't need a marksman. Sometimes you may. Okay, I think it's safe to say that too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
Balance. You gotta balance it. That's
Except
why,
for tanks. You can't have too many tanks.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, fine. If you have 5 tanks, it might not work.
It's not gonna work. You know who's gonna be a damage?
That's true. All right.
Unless you have a hero such as Zephys, one of the heroes that is a powerful off tank.
Yeah, I mean, Zephys
still not enough.
Zephys is basically in every team. Well, not in every team, but he's seen a lot of competitive play. He's very powerful, you know. He has really great ganking and escape potential with his ultimate, but he only gets that huge power spike at level 4, so we'll have to see whether or not CG makes a big play here, or whether or not BRENT makes a big play here. Do you think they'll invade?
Obviously. Come on, Marco. This is AoV.
This is
Over
AoV.
the wall. Omar gets curled to the wall. Pinned there. Stun lock. He does. Back away.
They didn't have enough stuns, and they were missing a few members. Arduin was very far away.
It's not an AoV game without invade. It's mainly going on to Zephys here, invading the siege bomb area. You see CG with the Prada. Okay, looks like for BRENT Esports. They got what they wanted. Now it's time to exit.
Exit, get back to lanes. But remember, while that's happening, the Koresh is also in the bottom lane, taking that. Well, at least he was trying to until the Arduin came.
Okay, at least for CG, they know the movements of BRENT Esports. They're trying to mirror it and challenge that invade coming from Action Man, but sadly enough, as you said, Marco, it was a good attempt.
It was a good attempt. We're going to be able to see who gets to level 4 first. I feel like this entire matchup is kind of decided by who gets their high impact ultimates first, because that means they're able to start team fights first and they're able to win those team fights. That's the very important part here.
You know, kanina we saw in our game too, where my god, this Malik was like level 6, everyone was just level 2. That's something that you know that when an invade goes too good.
Yeah, I mean, a great invades always result in huge early game advantages, but it seems that neither invade resulted in a huge early game advantage. Maybe a few hundred gold, perhaps one buff, but that's not going to determine an entire game. That's not the equivalent of feeding Violet 2 kills at the first 1 minute of the game.
But now this is going to be an interesting game because no double kill happened here. Okay, Bane is in a bad spot, trying to back away. He does manage to get some room between BRENT Esports, but now everyone, the Abyssal Dragon has spawned. Expect some action here for BRENT Esports trying to scout out the area, but we're seeing this Ryoma. I gotta say, Ryoma, great poke hero.
Great poke hero. Also remember that Ryoma is level 4 when the rest of the enemy team is not even level 4 yet. This is Ryoma's big advantage. Early to mid-game, he's able to absolutely dominate everyone with huge damage and huge CC. Also, remember what I was talking about earlier, how Senil just kind of doesn't care. Senil's still at the top, just awaiting to be level 4.
Level 4, when it does get unlocked, can respond towards CG's maybe possible contest, future contest in the Abyssal Dragon pit. But for now, looks like BRENT Esports will be taking away the first Abyssal Dragon for our Game 3.
That's almost a 1,000 gold lead. That's absolutely massive in a game like AOV, where every second and every moment counts. It seems that middle lane, both of these teams are taking a similar strategy with their roaming heroes, attempting to pick off the enemy mid laner. Essentially, L'Oreal and Preta are fighting, but look at Ormar and Thane here, just dancing in the bush next to each other, waiting for someone to make a mistake.
They're not doing much here, but looks like for Action Man, getting a lot of lockdown onto himself will force him to back up from Ben. You do see in the rush, this Zephys is waiting for maybe Action Man to overstep, but now looks like for BRENT Esports, okay, making some room for Thane. Does not manage to stun. Okay, there's the stun. Can they go for more? Another stun from the Ryoma. Great damage. Level 6 Ryoma, level 3 Thane. You know what's gonna happen, Marco?
No chance.
No chance.
No chance. But there was a small problem in coordination there. The Ormar wasn't able to capitalize on that stuff.
Now here's the bad spot here. Zeno's now responding finally from the solo lane into the bot lane. Now CG wins stats by the numbers game of First Blood.
Oh my gosh, that was like a 3-0. That was a 3-0 exchange. That is the power of Zenyo. Zenyo's just farming. Zenyo's just somewhere on the map, and suddenly he's no longer there. And somewhere else. However, BRENT does take advantage of this by pushing that top lane because Zenyo is no longer there.
And now we're seeing for, I mean, okay, let's say for CG they lost the top lane tower, yeah. But now they're going for invades here, but Kuroki trying to stop him there. Arthur is kind of low, does back away in time. Kuroki is still chasing onto the members of CG, especially Ben. But now we're just seeing the members of BRENT Esports, 4 members actually, immediately now rotating towards the Abyssal area.
Remember that CG was right in retreating there. Remember, again, BRENT Esports has a lot of high impact ultimates and they don't want to get caught in those things. So BRENT does take the Abyssal Dragon and still has the gold lead despite giving 3 kills to CG.
This is where you can say that you have all of your objectives, you're gonna win. But looks like that was a contest for the Spirit Sentinel. Now anti-hero gets ganked by 4 members. No escape, you have no chance there. But at least for BRENT Esports, they managed to get some. Actually, we did see in the top lane and now also in the Abyssal Dragon area. 2 takes. It's gonna be very interesting. This has basically equalized the gold for both of these teams. So essentially nobody has a distinct advantage. Remember that kills aren't everything, objectives are quite important as well. Top is very good, and it seems that CG is gonna pick up another kill by ganking. Oh, but without anything more, looks like the tower dive didn't go in favor that much. I mean, because it was a 1-for-1 trade. You go for a tower drive like that, it's not gonna end well if you go with a 1-for-1 trade.
Well, it was a tower and a hero for another hero, so I think it did go positively in a way. One thing we have to realize here, though, is that Ormar ultimate, my goodness, was that kind of lucky. Was able to proc that stun at just the right moment in order to prevent that guy from running away and getting that tower shot in to kill him.
And that passive from the Ormar is something that you gotta hand out to. I mean, look out for, because when he does pop the ultimate, that's basically a free AoE stun.
It's absolutely demolishing. It's a very high impact ultimate, as I've said. That's why CG doesn't want to attempt to gank or at least team fight BRENT Esports, because you saw what the 3v1 ended up being. What more a 5v5?
Gazebo by Leather here. Now the two members, Kuroki and Arcadia, are trying to back away, but CG, they lock them down! Two-man knockup does connect to BRENT Esports. Leather and Kuroki are out of the fight. Sailor responds, and they will secure Arcadia. Ormar is gone from the fight. They don't have that tool. Death from the ball, connect to Kuroki, and he does back away. Now Anti-Hero is there for the re-engage for BRENT Esports to fight back. CG, Black Slow, same with the other two members. They're backing away from the Mike Golem area, but 6 on 1 are going for a steal here. Okay, now Action Man, he was going for a scout out there, trying to stop 6 on 1 for that steal.
It's a typical, you know. It's very typical. I think Action Man was a bit late to the team fight, and therefore his ultimate wasn't as high impact as it usually should be. Great steal by LYL, by the way.
LYL going for the small steals that can matter. I mean, the smallest things, the smallest details, you can always pick it up and also use it against your enemy's bot core. Okay, Senor goes in here, gets the heal, 3v2. That's the death trap by BRENT Esports, baiting the Senor in, but look at the great damage from BRENT Esports. And now pushing by XTD. Senor responds, she kind of regrets that, forcing them to lose a lot of members in the process, and now they are actually tempted to maybe take their Dark Slayer, but they should know better.
That's too risky, especially when Kratos is still alive and absolutely just demolish them by hitting them with one of the dragons.
Yeah, you get 3 members, but yeah, you can't be greedy.
You can't be too greedy.
You game 3.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the stakes this high, you're correct. That team fight ended up being very, very in BRENT Esports' favor, especially even if, you know, Samuel came in to the rescue, the numbers advantage was still not theirs, and BRENT came in, Yanni ultimate was able to just absolutely demolish the entire team. Again, high impact ultimates is the name of BRENT Esports' game.
Definitely, so for BRENT Esports, this will be the 3rd Abyssal Dragon, giving nothing to CG, and now CG, okay, let's move. Now they get the Dark Slayer. Oh, let's do it! BRENT Esports going for the contest! But the steal did not happen. LYL takes the Dark Slayer, and now they're aiming for Anti-Hero. We see Action Man, big and wet, going for the clash there. He did pop his ultimate, could not engage. They changed minds there, Marco. I mean, they know that they were a bit too late to the party. They failed that steal. Why go for it?
I mean, I don't think Action Man was actually going for more. As a man of action, you know, sometimes it's very important to know that retreating is also an action. I believe he used that ultimate to just push the enemy team away. A tactical withdrawal. It's not retreat. It's not cowardice. It's strategy.
It's working. BRENT Esports, they are respecting the members. Pumped up by the Dark Slayer buff. So BE knows what's at stake here.
Yeah, but you know, with that Dark Slayer buff, their sieging power goes absolutely up. Remember, with the Preta on their team, they have that sieging advantage, able to effectively pressure BRENT Esports away from those towers, so they're able to constantly rotate like this, like what they're doing, going mid, going top, going bot, going mid, going top, and clearing all the minions.
Okay, so for CG, I mean, it's great that they got the Dark Slayer, without a doubt, guys. But now the question is, BRENT Esports bouncing back from the game. Now they're third game. I mean, I bet these guys will be one of the newcomers. I mean, the new kids on the block, I heard you say that before, and now they're trying to make their names known here. But for CG being the first runner-up, they should be a bit more hungry than the newcomers entering the Fusion National Qualifiers. But because we know that BRENT Esports are actually a team well known.
I mean, they're very popular. I mean, we know Leather, you know Kuroki, and all of these guys.
How are they gonna prove in the qualifiers?
What they've got to prove here is that they're just not popular faces. They're also skillful players. So we'll see whether or not they can mount a comeback here. It might seem like they're losing, but remember, in AOV, defeat is never really that far from victory. That goes both ways.
Wait. So in a way, when it comes to those defeats, okay, so for CG, I can think that they're winning, but they're not winning.
I mean, kinda, because one team fight is all it takes to turn an entire match around. Remember, if CG gets wiped, BRENT Esports will have 30 to 40 seconds to siege their entire base. With 3 or more members alive, that's more than enough to absolutely demolish an entire core, or at least wound the entire enemy base enough so that to bring things to a total base tower parity. So with that in mind, we'll see what they do during this encounter.
Because you know what, I think it's a dire situation for BE if they lose 2 high ground towers. I mean, after that, you basically give the whole map to CG.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful there. I mean, the Preta is there on the other side of the map. We did Jetness take away the Dragon. So 61 takes the objectives there, getting their first Abyssal Dragon. But the Dark Slayer, guys, know that the Dark Slayer has been taken away by CG. The first one, but the second one, too close. But for now, the main focus here, I think Marco is all about this Preta, and knowing first can refresh its cooldown with the ultimate and just clear out the waves.
Clear out the waves, push out the heroes, which allows his teammates to go in there and pressure that tower. See, they're doing it right now. It's a small game of attrition here. I mean, they're not about making the big play, they're going slowly and steadily, clearing the minion waves, poking those towers, and then retreating. They know that BRENT has those high impact ultimates and they don't want to mess with that, so instead, they play to their advantage, picking their fights, clearing the minion waves, and taking objectives.
Oh man, did you see that damage from the Preta onto Leather?
Yeah, it ate like 1/3 of his health bar.
That's disgusting, but you gotta hand it to LYL, making use of this Preta. And the members of CG, they know its value, and now you see it here, guys. Seeing in action for CG at this spot, Game 3. Man, for BRENT Esports, how can they answer this?
How can they answer this? They have to force a team fight. They have to not be afraid of that Preta's damage and just get in there. Kill him is what they essentially should do.
But will they be taken down? Because we are seeing this Zenial in this game. So you think they're gonna die? No, you're wrong. Zen's gonna respawn. Okay, CG going for the invade here. You see Ben onto Leather. L'Oreal is the focus here. The Action Man pumps that ultimate. Goes up to XDD. Look at the members of CG. 4 members forced to get around the base. And the Fulton in the mid lane. And now they're wreaking havoc as BRENT Esports are just getting melted down. But the members of CG. But Action Man is still alive here. The tower was still standing this whole time, and now they're forced to back away. Okay, game's not yet over. Tower still stands. MVP's tower.
I mean, I'm so interested in how the team fight ended up. You thought CG was just absolutely gonna delete BRENT off the face of the map, but I think they started aiming towards heroes and forgot entirely about their main objective. Those towers. It doesn't matter whether or not CG was able to kill the entirety of BRENT if they're not able to kill the entirety of BRENT. So at the end of the day, they traded 2 to 3, sure, but they weren't able to get their objective, which was that tower.
11 to 6 to our kill score, everyone watching. So we're nearing the 50-minute mark, and the gold lead. I think at this point, we shouldn't really see the gold lead that much because I think when it comes to the gold lead, it's kind of I bet 50 minutes into the AOV game is pretty long.
Yeah, I mean, like, for an AOV game, this is a really long game. Remember that AOV is a fast game. If you've played other MOBAs before that, you think 15 minutes is short? No.
Okay. He's alive for now, Marco.
He's alive for now. I mean, but his ultimate's down, so that's very, very big, because that means CG now has the chance to be very aggressive and not care about that Yanni ultimate.
But I think at this point, BRENT Esports, they don't care that it's on CD here. Action Man is now back to the way, gets the kill. Okay, Arcadia gets picked up there. Looks like 611 takes the kill there. This is the last high ground tower. I'll be correct. This is the mid lane. 2 towers remain here.
One tower remains.
One tower remains, but I don't think they'll focus in there. Action Man, note that he popped this ultimate, can't use it anymore, but still surviving a lot of damage. That's going to see the members of BE forced to answer the dive there. Pile up in the mid lane, but in the end, congratulations to CG. Clutch kill, ending this match 1 with a 2-1.
It's a very, very good execution on their part. They were able to identify what they needed to do, and they were able to pick off those enemy team members. BRENT made a huge mistake in that game by giving up one of their members and then giving up another one of their members. And especially with that Kilgroth, oh sorry, Kilgroth, I meant Crushed. Sorry, they're both fish people, okay?
They're kind of like.
Yeah, they're both fish people. So with that Crash making that huge mistake, you know, using that ultimate too early resulted in that really poor encounter at the very end. If he still had this ultimate at that time, he might have been able to do something about those 4 members coming in. But sadly, that's not the case, and we have CG taking the first series.
So Marco said it here, guys. Match 1 ends with CG ending it with a tier 1. 2 points for CG, 1 point for BRENT Esports.
That's going to factor into our, remember, point system to determine who enters the finals for today so that we can find out who will represent the Philippines in the grand finals tomorrow. As usual, we are here at Green offices talking to all of you guys here at SM Mall of Asia. So if you guys are there, say hi. Hi.
So I hope you guys are enjoying the games being live streamed here. Also to Mall of Asia Arena, so rather the Atrium Hall. So a huge shout out to you guys there. We hope that you're enjoying the event. So I think when it comes to preparing for the next match, this is a great time to go downstairs, check out the booths, and play AOV maybe when you spare time. Also interact with maybe your friends. Maybe you're with a group of friends.
Oh yeah.
Going into this event.
AOV is always more fun with friends. You know, AOV is a 5v5 team game, and what's the point of a team game if you don't have a team? So I'm really, really excited for all of the people watching. So even if you're at SM Mall of Asia, or maybe you're watching at home on YouTube or on your Facebook, we don't care because we're happy that you're here. Please tell us in the comment section down below. Are you excited that CG won? Are you sad that BRENT lost? I mean, a lot of people are rooting for them.
But it's not yet over for BRENT Esports here because it's a point system. Top 2 teams will move on. So I guess this is just it for us. I mean, my name's Vulcan. With me was Marco. So thank you so much for watching the match 1 of CG versus BRENT Esports with CG winning this match. So in your spare time, why don't you visit the booths here downstairs in the main hall?
Yeah, or talk to us.
Or talk to us.
Yeah.